Good evening to all of you. Welcome to our class today. So today we shall discuss on the dividend policy. Okay, the dividend policy that a firm can follow when it comes to payment of dividend to its owners, to its shareholders. Generally, any distribution, we notice that any distribution that a company makes to its shareholder in whatever format, okay, any distribution of the company assets, okay, company earnings, company's profit to the shareholders, okay, is referred to as a dividend, okay, in whatever format it will be, whether in cash, whether it's in terms of extra shares, whether it's going to be distribution of the company assets, in whatever format the distribution of the company assets or profit, okay, is referred to as a dividend. Okay. Now the dividend policy, okay, generally when it comes to designing, okay, what policies should we follow as a company, okay? The number of questions that you need to answer, okay, the number of questions that policy, okay, that again we adopting need to answer. For example, how do we pay the dividend? Okay, as I've just mentioned, should we pay in form of cash? Okay, should we pay in form of bonus shares? Should we pay in form of maybe distribution of the company assets? Okay, why do you, okay, you need to ask the question, okay, what form do we take, okay, what form, or how do we pay this dividend, okay, what form does it take, okay, and why does it take that form, okay, if it is cash, okay, if it is bonus shares, okay, if it is the final distribution of the company assets, okay, why do we pay the dividend using that form, okay? Of course, also the policy need to answer the question, why do we pay the dividend in the first place? Okay, is it worthwhile to pay the dividend? Okay, is there any earnings that we make as a, is there any reason? Is there any rationale? Okay, behind us paying the dividend? Okay, or do we just pay the dividend for this paying the dividend? Okay. Don't forget, at the beginning of the syllabus, we did discuss and say that at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, it's all enough to answer the question, okay? There are three objectives, okay? There are three financial objectives that a company can pursue, okay? And one of them was the shareholders' wealth. The major objective was shareholders' wealth maximization, okay? So if the company, if the management, okay, decide that we shall pay the dividend, okay, then of course they must be telling us, okay, we have taken this decision because it will be maximizing the wealth shareholder, okay? So as we attempt, or as the management attempt to answer the question why, okay, that must be get to answer the question, is this decision, okay, we are trying to adopt in relation to the payment of the dividend to the shareholder going to be maximizing the wealth of the shareholder? If it does not maximize the wealth of the shareholder, then why pay the dividend? Okay. So the first question about the policy, okay, is how to pay the dividend, okay, then why pay the dividend, okay, then when pay the dividend, okay. The policy also need to have a question trying to answer when pay the dividend, okay. When it comes to the when, okay, it's simply about, okay, should we pay an interim dividend or should we pay a final dividend, okay? Should we pay an interim dividend or should we pay a final dividend, or do we pay just one, the final dividend, okay? Interim is the dividend paid within the year, okay, within the year. The final dividend is the dividend paid after the company has prepared those financial statements. So this is that based on the result of the year 2019, we have made this profit and we propose to pay this dividend, okay? That's the final dividend, okay? But the company said that instead of just paying once, why don't we pay twice in a year? Okay, you can pay at the end of 6 months, then at the end of the year, a 12-month period, okay? So you can have the interim and the final dividend, okay? So you need to ask the question, why you pay, okay, when do you pay the dividend? Is it an interim dividend or is it interim and final dividend, okay? Then also, the other question of the policy that we're going to be adopting need to answer is towards how much dividend do we pay, okay? Should we pay $1 per share? Should we pay 1 shilling per share as dividend, or should we pay 2.5, or do we pay 3? Okay, so you need to answer that question. Okay, how much of the dividend should we pay? Okay, so if you didn't have a policy that is going to answer all those questions, then you can say that that policy is a comprehensive policy. Okay, it is comprehensive in itself. Okay, it is able to answer those questions: how to pay the dividend, when to pay the dividend, how much pay the dividend, and of course, why are you pay the dividend? Okay, so the policy should be able to answer those questions. Of the key element out of those, the why, the when, the how much, the when. Okay, it's how much. Okay, of the key is the how much. Okay, So as we say, okay, what factors, therefore, do influence the policy that we shall be adopting? So the main concentration is towards how much of the dividend should be paid. Okay, do you pay $1? Do you pay $2? Do you pay 1.5? Do you pay 3.5? Okay, so the main concentration is of the policy is how much of the dividend do we pay. Okay, and that's is what we'll be discussing. Then in this topic, we will be discussing, okay, what are the dividend theories, okay? As you've said, the policy, when it comes to the making decision as to should we pay or not pay the dividend, it ought to be answered the question, does the payment of the dividend, okay, maximize the wealth of shareholder, okay? Does the payment of the dividend maximize the wealth of shareholder? Because if it does not, then why pay the dividend? So the theories, what called the dividend theories, okay, need to answer that question. The dividend theories need to answer that question, okay? So they need to answer the question as why do we pay the dividend? It ought to be answered, okay? Depending on the policy, you can be answering, okay? So the theories we will be discussing, okay, are geared towards answering that question, okay? We will discuss more or less like 5 theories, okay? And all of them will be geared towards answering the question: is the payment of the dividend going to be value adding? Is it in itself value adding? Okay, that is what we shall be discussing in this topic, okay? The payment of the dividend, so we shall discuss the policy, we discuss the factor, and discuss theories, okay, that do explain why payment of the dividend is value adding or why payment of the dividend is not value adding, okay? That's what we shall be discussing in this topic, okay? Let's begin, okay? As I just mentioned, okay, when it comes to the policy that the company you're going to be adopting in relation to the payment of dividend, okay, it ought to be answering those questions, okay? It ought to be answering the question, okay? The when. Let me just put it here. Okay, you need to answer the policy that you're adopting. We are going to be adopting, or the company will be adopting, need to answer the question, okay, when pay the dividend, okay? So okay, let me just share, just to minute. Let me get my board. Give me a minute, almost there. Yes, okay. So in relation to the dividend theory, in relation to the dividend theory, okay, the dividend policy, okay, so the policy that you can be adopting need to answer 4 core questions, okay. And the first one is when pay the dividend, okay, when, that is, should we pay an interim dividend, okay, or should we pay both interim and final dividend, okay. Which one should you pay? Okay, should you just pay an interim and not a final dividend, or do we just pay the final dividend? Okay, so the policy that the company shall be adopting in relation to the payment of dividend need to answer the question why. Okay, it also to answer the question, okay, why pay the dividend? Okay, so this is going to be simply justification. Okay, so you need to justify justification of why pay the dividend, okay? And as I mentioned, is it going to answer, or should it be answering the question, okay, about is the policy we adopting going to be increasing the wealth of shareholder, okay, shareholders' wealth maximization, okay? Is it going maximizing the shareholders' wealth, okay? And also need to be answering the question, okay, why pay the dividend, okay? How pay the dividend, okay? How pay the dividend, okay? As mentioned, when it comes to how, okay, it is going with the form, okay? What form does the dividend take, okay? Do we pay, for example, cash, okay? Do we pay bonus, okay? Do we pay, for example, the final asset distribution, okay? The final asset distribution, okay, how do we pay the dividend? Okay, what form does it take? Okay, do we pay through, for example, the share repurchase? Okay, so all these are forms of paying the dividend. Okay, so the company, the policy need to state what form, okay, that do we be, is the company going to be paying these dividends? Okay, and lastly, was the last thing I should have, okay, when pay the dividend, why pay the dividend, how pay the dividend, and of course how much. Okay, how much of the day should you pay? Okay, how much of the day should you pay? Okay, do you pay $1? Do you pay 1 shilling as the dividend, or do you pay 3 shillings? Do you pay 5 shillings? Okay, so the policy need also to dictate. Okay, how much of the day should you pay? Okay, do we increase by 10% every year, or do we pay a fixed dividend? Okay, so for example, do you pay, for example, constant at a constant rate? Okay, do you pay at a fixed rate? Okay, constant rate. Do you pay at a fixed dividend? Okay. By constant rate, we pay that. By constant rate, for example, it can be the company do pay 10% of its earnings. Just an example. Okay, the company do pay 10% of its earnings as dividend. Okay, just an example. For example, the fixed dividend, the company do say that we do pay, for example, fixed rate at a fixed rate of 1.5. So irrespective of how much dividend we do pay, okay, irrespective of how much earnings we do make, we do pay 1.5 shillings fixed. So we need to answer the question, or the policy need to dictate, okay, what is the company policy in relation to the payment of the dividend? Is a constant rate, or is it we pay a fixed dividend? Okay, so the policy that we shall be adopting, or the company shall be adopting, need to answer that question. Okay, need to answer that question. Okay. So one of the key things that, or one of the key factors that we need to, or determines the policy the company should be adopting, essentially towards how much pay of, essentially towards the element of how much of the earnings of the company should the company pay as dividend, is more towards the financing decision. Okay, it is a financing decision itself. Okay, because as we mentioned, okay, we did say that one of the key source of finance for the company is internal sources. Okay, is internal sources. Okay. Therefore, the company, when it comes to make the decision of how much pay the dividend, you have to consider the future potential finance requirement the company may be having. Okay, because in case in future you will be having huge capital consumption. If in the future you'll be having huge capital consumption, that implies therefore, as a company, you have to consider how much of dividend therefore should I pay today? Because in case you have a higher payment of dividend today, that implies therefore you have low earnings, you have low reserves in the future upon which you can use to pay the dividend, or to be able to make the investment. Okay, to be able to get the capital to make those investments. Okay, so again, have a relation you have to consider. Okay, how much of capital do I require in future? If you require huge capital in future, okay, if the need for capital is going to be huge in future, then consider, should I pay little today or not even pay anything today? Okay, so you have to consider to balance two. Okay, the need for financing in future, as well as the demand of the shareholder to receive the dividend today. Okay, so consider those two elements, those two factors. Okay. Generally, we do say that when it comes to making a decision, okay, when it comes to making a policy, okay, especially on how much should you pay as dividend, then generally it is within those charged governance, it is within the directors of the company, okay, to make that decision. Okay, they are the one that come up with the policy, or to come up with the decision of we shall pay 1.2, we shall pay 1.2 shillings, okay, as the company dividend, okay, and not 1.5 and not 3, okay. On the other hand, as shareholder, you have zero power when it comes to making a decision. When it comes to deciding, okay, that the company will increase its dividend. Okay, you don't have that power. Okay, as the company, the shareholders of the company. Okay, you cannot decide. Okay, we are going to increase the dividend. Okay, from the proposed 1.5 shillings per share to 1.8. Okay, you don't have that power. The only power you have is to decrease that dividend. Okay, if the manager says that we're going to pay you 1.5, okay, you can say as shareholder, we don't want that dividend. Okay, we propose that we decrease from 1.5 to 0.8. You have that power. Okay, you can even say we don't want to receive the dividend. Okay, you have that power as a shareholder. Okay, you can refuse to receive the dividend. Okay, quite unconventional that will happen, but you have that power. You don't have the power to increase the dividend. Okay, so in case the dividend last year was the proposed by the board of directors 1.5, you cannot propose to increase it. Okay, even though in reality, okay, we do say that at the end of the day, okay, the shareholder, okay, may force the company to pay the dividend. Okay, so I don't have that case. Okay, so there may be a force. Okay, or the company shareholder may, in court, okay, force the payment of dividend. Okay, one of the way which has happened in the past. Okay, with a shareholder, okay, more or less in court riots. Okay, the AGM. Okay, which they have a policy. They said we are not going to come. Okay, to the AGM, or if we come to the AGM, we are going to ensure that that AGM doesn't continue. Okay, until you do pay us the dividend. Okay. That has happened in the past. Okay, I remember the case of the first AGM of Safaricom. Okay, the shareholders of Safaricom said that we are not going to continue with AGM. Okay, until you pay us the dividend. Okay, because at that point in time, the proposal by the management, by the directors, was not to pay the dividend. Okay, that was the proposal. Okay, however, the shareholders, if you for those who can remember, at the point of IPO, most of the shareholders of Safaricom were individuals. Okay, they were very diverse individuals. Okay, and of course, as you can see along the way, for individuals, they do consider dividend as a supplementary income. So if you don't pay the dividend, what are you saying? You're telling them that your income is going to be reducing. Okay, do you think they're going to take that? Do you think they're going to be happy with that policy? Of course not. So that point in time, the shareholders of Safaricom, in court, they did force the management to pay the dividend. Okay, so sometimes you can have that case, okay, where the shareholders can, in court, okay, force an increase in the dividend. Okay, even though in the law, in the Companies Act, they don't have that power. Okay. Anyway, you see that of the key elements, okay, within the policy is how much dividend. Okay, so as we discuss the factor, we are trying to attempt to answer the question of how much. Okay, so here the key concentration is more towards how much. Okay, that's the key concentration. It's more towards how much dividend, or what factors influence how much dividend do influence the payment of the dividend. Okay, they do influence the policy to be adopted. Now, one of the key factor, okay, that we ought to consider when it comes to making a decision as to how much dividends, okay, we ought to pay is of course the company profit. Okay, conventionally, company pay dividend. Okay, company pay dividend from its earnings. Okay, either for the current year or from the company past operations. So we pay the dividend conventionally, okay, from the company's earnings, from the company's profit. Okay. Which implies, therefore, in those years when the company is not making profit, when the company is not making earnings, okay, or the company has zero reserves, the company has zero retained earning, then the company cannot pay dividends. Okay, if the company does not have earnings, does not have retained earnings, okay, either from the past years or from the current year, the company, if they have zero earnings, they cannot pay themselves dividend unless the company is closing down. Okay, because in case the company is closing down, okay, then in that instance, okay, then the company can simply redistribute the company assets, okay, to shareholder. Okay, that can happen. Okay, however, if the company is still a going concern, then the company cannot pay dividend unless it is able to make profit. Okay, and of course, by default, okay, if a case where the company is making profit, then of course there is a chance that it can be able to pay the dividend. Okay, if the company is making huge profit, then of course it cannot pay high dividends. Okay. The other factor, okay, is the company liquidity. Okay, how liquid are you as a company? We assess the company liquidity from the company cash position. Okay, cash at hand and cash at the bank. Okay, what is the extent of the amount of cash the company may be having? Because in case as a company, okay, you do not have profits. In case the company, conventionally, okay, or in most cases, okay, company pay dividend for using in the form of cash. Okay, that we or mostly company do pay, okay, dividend in form of cash. Okay, don't forget to say that you can have the case of the company can pay dividend through share repurchase. The company can pay dividend through bonus issue shares. Okay. Or company can pay dividends, okay, by sale of its assets, okay, and from the assets, the amount they receive from the assets, they do pay the dividend, okay. But conventionally, okay, normally company do pay the dividend through cash distribution. What you apply therefore, if you're going to pay the dividend, okay, you need therefore have the cash. Okay, if the proposal is a company to pay a dividend of 1 billion, okay, or in case of equity bank, you want to pay, for example, 7.8 billion in form of dividend, that implies therefore you must have that 7.8 billion shares in your account, because you're going to pay in the cash. It is an actual cash distribution from the company to the shareholder. That implies the company must have that cash. What do you apply for? If you don't have that cash, then how do you pay the dividend? You can't borrow money to pay the dividend. Okay, that is not going to be possible. Okay, you cannot borrow money. You can't take a loan to pay the dividend. So you have to consider, what is my cash position? What is my liquidity position? Okay, because out of the cash you have, this is what I'm paying to the shareholder of the dividend. Okay, consider therefore what is your liquidity. Okay, consider therefore what is your cash position. Okay, and the factor that do influence how much, okay, is the available market opportunities, the available investment opportunities. Okay, now what does that mean? In most cases, okay, as we did mention, one of the commonly used finance source is the use of retained earnings. Okay, is the use of retained earnings. And if the company has huge future potential capital intensive long-term projects, okay, then they may want to reduce the payment of dividend, okay, so that they can be able to accumulate money, okay, and out of that accumulation, okay, they can be able to get the money or get the capital to invest in those projects. If in other instances the company has a very minimal chance of, they don't have any upcoming projects. Okay? If the company does not have any upcoming projects, now what do? Okay, one thing they can do is that if you don't have any project, you can invest in your money. Okay, instead of having the cash idle. Okay, some instances the company said, why don't we just pay this money to the shareholder in form of dividend? Okay, because currently we have the money. Okay, we don't have any investment to make. Okay, then why don't we just pay, or why don't we just make this distribution to the shareholder? Okay, so if we have huge capital investment, then one of the things the shareholder can do is that it can try to reduce the payment of dividend, or even just withhold the entire dividend. Okay, we don't pay the dividend. Okay, simply inform the shareholder. Okay, we are not going to pay your dividend this year. Okay, why? Because next year we have this investment A, B, C, and D. Okay. If we were to pay you the dividend today, then for tomorrow or the next year, you're going to be asking you to make the money. You're going to be asking you to invest in the company again, so which is become therefore a zero-sum game. Okay, so instead of paying you the money today, why don't we just wait? Okay, we make the investment next year. Okay, and out of those earnings to be made from the project, we can pay you more dividends. Okay, however, generally you have to consider. Okay, what is the available capital? What is the positive NPV projects that we do have? Okay, if there are many, that implies therefore you're going to be having out of investment to make. Okay, the need for capital becomes greater. Okay. And the factor is the contractual obligations of the so-called the debt covenants. Okay, what are the debt covenants the company has? Okay. And by debt covenants, okay, these are simply agreements. Okay, I think we discussed this under agency theory. Okay, I hope you should remember. Okay, under agency theory, we were discussing on the debt covenants. Okay, most of the time, okay, debt holders, don't forget, they are the one who are at high risk, okay, of their funds misuse. Okay, the fund, their money, their investment they have made in the company might be misused. Okay. How can they be misused? By the company investing in the projects that are high risk, okay? So there are many factors, okay? So debt holders, most of the time, in order to protect themselves, okay? In order to protect themselves, they can decide, okay? They can decide, okay? Why don't we put a clause, okay, in our debt agreement, okay, to ensure we protect ourselves, okay? One of the clauses they can put in place in that debt agreement, that debt covenant, is a shareholder. Okay, during the tenure, okay, during the life of these bonds, okay, we are not, or you not pay yourself any dividend. Okay, this can be what we call a restrictive covenant. Okay, and it dictates for shareholder during, if the life of this bond is 10 years, okay, then during those 10 years period, we are going to give you money. We as the holder, we're going to give you money. However, you're not going to pay yourself any dividend. Okay, if that's the agreement the company has with the debt holders, that means therefore, before the company decide how much to pay the dividend, they have to refer back to the covenant. What does our debt covenant dictate? Okay, should we pay the dividend or should we not pay the dividend? Okay, so you have to refer back therefore to the covenant the company has with the debt holders. Okay, what does that covenant say? Okay, what impact does it have on the policy that we can adopt as a company in relation to the dividend payments? Okay, so you have to consider, therefore, refer back, therefore, to already existing agreement the company has with its debt holders. Another factor is what we call the industry norm, okay, the industry norm, okay, or the industry practice, okay. Now, what does the other firms normally do? Okay, most of the time, okay, firms try to mimic each other, okay, they try to copy each other, okay. What does the other firm do, okay, when it comes to the payment of the dividend? Do they pay a dividend, okay? If they do pay the dividend, we as a new entrant in the market, we may want to adopt, we may want to consider, okay, we do as we can do as per what the other company normally do, okay? If other firms pay the dividend, we may want to pay the dividend. If other firms that we have similar operation with, they don't pay the dividend, then most likely a new firm in the industry will also adopt the same policy. Okay, so the company is going to try to they try to mimic each other, they try to copy each other. Okay, so a new firm will be adopting what they already find existing in that industry. Okay, if other firms pay the dividend, then they may want to pay the dividend. If other firms don't pay the dividend, they may follow a similar policy. Okay. Another factor is what we call the growth stage of the company. Okay, the company growth stage. Okay. Okay, let me share my board here. We'll call the company the life cycle. Okay. This can be the growth. Okay, let me just call this can be the measure of growth. Okay, then you can measure growth. A number of ways. Can use assets, profit, revenue. Okay, and this can be years. Okay, time. As time goes by, at the beginning, once the company just get formed, okay, this is 0 year. Of course, the company is going to make very minimal profit. Okay, it's going to have very minimal revenue or even asset. Okay, but as time goes by, okay, as times go by, so at the beginning, there's going to cause stagnation. Okay, so the company is there to peak. Okay, basically, give me 0 to 3 years, for example. Okay, just an example, 0 to 3 years. But once the company stabilizes, okay, when the company stabilizes, okay, then of course it's going to be an exponential growth. They will call an exponential growth until the company matures, okay, until the company become a mature company. Now, if the company don't do anything, okay, of course, new firms will come in. There'll be new competition that comes in. Then, of course, there'll be the company dropping down, okay. If the company reinvents themselves, okay, the company may continue with that, okay, cycle, okay. So at the beginning, there's going to be what we call, let's call this, the consideration is called this going to be the startup stage. This is called the growth stage. In this point, you can say this is the point of maturity. And if the company does nothing, there's the point of decline. Now, as a company, within those different life cycle, okay, of the farm, okay, in what stage is this farm in, okay, in what stage is this farm in, okay, if the farm is starting up, okay, if the company is simply a startup company, okay, what does it mean? It might mean that for the company, you might be having very minimal revenues, you're making very minimal profit, if anything, and maybe in case is a proprietor, okay, then maybe they don't even pay themselves in salary, okay, at the beginning. That can happen. Okay, in the beginning, nothing or there's no any salaries that, for example, the owner of the business do get. It implies therefore you cannot pay dividend. Okay, when the company is simply starting up. Okay, for the first maybe few years, or the first 4 or 5 years. Okay, 3 to 4, 5, 0 to 5 years more or less. Okay, so at that point you may not pay any dividend. Okay, because first of all you're not making a profit. Secondly, if anything you're about to close down, okay, if you pay yourself the dividend, okay, so at that point in time, during the startup phase, then you may not pay the dividend, okay. Now, during the phase of growth, okay, during the growth phase, what happened in the growth phase? In the growth phase, when the company now the company is picking up, okay, the company is picking up, okay. If the company is picking up, what does it mean? It means, therefore, the need for capital at that point in time is very huge. Well, the company is growing. If the company will grow if they are making the investment, okay? If they're buying, for example, long-term assets. Therefore, at the growth stage, okay, now the need for capital is quite extensive, okay? The need for capital is quite extensive, okay, at the growth phase of the company. But at the growth stage, the capital investment is quite high, okay? The company, you might be making profit, okay, but the need for capital is quite high, okay? That at the growth phase, you may not make any money. Now, once the company matures, okay, now this is a firm that has been there for the last 20 years. It has been in operation for the last 40 years. What does it mean? It means it has been in business for quite some time. It might mean that actually they have already exhausted, okay, the company has exhausted all the available investment opportunities. And since this company has been there for years, it means they have been able to make profit. They do have earnings, okay, they do have retained earnings, okay. When you plan therefore, in this particular phase, don't forget, if the company has already made all the available investments, it means the need for capital is low. Why? Because the company already has done the investment in the past years. Okay, the need for capital is going to be low. The company has been in business for quite some time. Okay, to imply therefore the company has been able to make profit. Okay, when you imply therefore in this stage, okay, in this particular phase, therefore, the company can be able to pay the dividend. Why? Because the need for capital is low. The company has been there for years. They can be able to access capital from other sources. Okay. At the same time, this company, they have been able to make profit. Okay, for quite some time by now. Okay. Therefore, this stage, the company therefore can be able to pay the dividend. If the company does nothing, then this can for the end of the company. The company is declining. The company is closing down. Okay. Therefore, in that stage, therefore, the company shall therefore be, in quote, returning back the capital to the shareholders, because the company is closing down. Okay, the company is declining. Okay, but in case there's going to be reinvention of the company, if there'll be reinvention of the company, then they may continue in operation and sustain payment of the dividend to the shareholders. Okay, so in what stage of growth is this firm in? Okay, that will influence therefore how much of the dividend they shall be paying to the shareholder in form of the dividend. Okay. That's on the growth stage of the company. In what stage of growth is this firm in? Okay, has it just been formed? Okay, or has it been there for the last 10 or so years? Okay, and the factor that defines the how much. So the factor that influence of how much is the company capital structure. Okay, is the company capital structure. Okay. Now, what does capital structure imply? Okay, simply, capital structure implies how does the company finance itself? Okay, how does the company currently finance its assets, its long-term assets? Okay, do they use, how much of debt do they use? Okay, how much of equity have they used in financing its assets? Okay, let me just illustrate. For example, the company can say this is the current capital structure of the firm. Okay, let's see. This current, this is optimal. Okay, so these are two capital structures. Okay, if for example the current capital structure, debt of the company is, let's say, 10%. equity is a balance 90%. What the company is achieving, the optimal, okay, where the company wants to its capital structure to be, okay. By optimality, by the way, what we mean by an optimal capital structure, we mean where the company is able to minimize, okay, where the company is able to minimize its cost of capital, okay. The point or the mix of debt and equity, where the company is able to minimize its cost of capital, then we refer to that as the optimal capital structure. Okay. Assume that the company optimal capital structure, that is where they aim their capital structure to be, let's say 30, 70, which is an example. So they aim to have their capital structure of 30, 70. Now they want to increase, as you can see, okay. So here the aim is to increase from 10 to 30, decrease equity from 90 to 70. Okay. Now how can that happen? Okay, how can they achieve that? One of the way of achieving that is don't forget, you need to decrease, okay? Here is a decrease, okay? So we want to decrease equity. Don't forget, retained earnings of the company is part and parcel of the company equity. Therefore, you can reduce equity by reducing the retained earnings of the company. And how can you reduce retained earnings? By paying the dividend, okay? By paying the dividend. If this is the case, therefore, if this therefore is the case, okay, and imply therefore, if the company is attempting to decrease their equity, they can decrease the equity by paying the dividend. If the optimal, okay, maybe if the optimal, there's another case here, is let's say 5%, 95%. Okay, if the optimal for the company is 595, it means for this company, they ought to increase the equity. Okay, let's see there. This is an increase. Okay, let me just slab off so that it becomes easy to understand. If the optimal, okay, is let's say 5% debt, 95% equity. As you can see here, the company is attempting to increase. They want to increase equity from 90 to 95. One of the way the company can increase the equity, they can do a number of ways. They can go to they can issue more shares in the market through a second issue, a second public issue. They can also do, for example, a rate of shares. But another way they can do so is by increasing their retained earnings. As I mentioned, retained earnings is part and parcel of the company equity. So they can attempt to increase the equity is by increasing the retained earnings. And how do they do so? By retaining the money, as the name is suggesting, by retaining the earnings. Okay, they retain the earnings of the company. Okay, and imply therefore don't pay the dividend. Okay, don't pay the dividend. Therefore, okay, if therefore the company is trying to increase its equity, it's trying to correct its capital structure. Okay, to an extent where equity is ought to increase, and imply therefore the company might not pay the dividend in that instance. Therefore, okay, therefore in that case, therefore the company chance of paying the dividend is very minimal. And if they do pay, they shall pay very low dividend, even if. Okay. Therefore, what is the company current capital structure and what is the optimal capital structure? Okay, should we ought to increase the equity or not? If we want to increase the equity to achieve the optimal, then that means therefore there will be low payment of dividends. Okay, if we are trying to increase equity, we try to decrease equity, like in a previous case. Okay, that means therefore pay the dividend. Okay, so consider therefore. Okay, what is the company capital structure? Okay. Another factor is referred to as the undue retention policy. The undue retention policy. In some country, okay, okay, and this doesn't apply to Kenya, okay, but in some country, okay, the company's law, okay, dictate that a company may pay dividend. Okay, the company or companies, if they are making positive earnings, okay, if the companies are making positive earnings, then they ought to pay the dividend. If the company, okay, if the company don't pay the dividend, then the tax authority can make what we call an assumed dividend. Okay, let me explain it. Okay. Make it easy. Or the undue retention rule. Okay, undue retention. If, for example, okay, we have As this country A, okay. Okay, as I mentioned, okay, this law doesn't apply in Kenya. Okay, we have country A. If in country A, this law do apply, okay, this undue retention law do apply, okay, and you have industry, this industry in which the firm is operating, we have industry B. This industry, they in the past, for example, okay, 1 year, they have paid, for example, let's say 40% of their earnings as dividend. Okay, they have a payout ratio of 40%. Then in the same industry, we have company C in this industry, but company C don't pay dividend. Okay, company C, they have zero payout ratio. However, in this country, this rule is applied. Okay, now what can happen is that the tax authority can assume that you as company C, okay, you never paid yourself dividend. Why? Okay, because you're trying to evade paying the tax. You're trying to evade paying the tax. So we're going to assume, okay, that you ought to have paid dividend to the shareholders. It's an assumed dividend. So what can do is that the tax authority will make or call an assumed dividend. Okay, we'll call an assumed dividend. Okay, an assumed dividend. Okay, what that means therefore is that the company, if other companies in the industry paid 40%, then the tax authority can say that you ought to pay yourself like other firms. Okay, they have 40% of your earnings ought to be paid. Okay, and so that this company, they have an earnings of in last year in 2019, they made earnings of, let's example, 1 million. Okay, this is an example. Okay, and imply therefore the company C, if it was follow what other firms were doing, they could pay themselves, they could pay to the shareholder 40% of their 1 million. That means therefore 40,000 was the dividend the company ought to have paid. But don't forget, they did not pay this. This was not paid. Which means therefore, if they could have paid the dividend, the potential, okay, tax to the tax authority, assume that the tax on the dividend, okay, I think you've done the taxation, okay, is, let's say, for example, 10%, okay, the withholding tax on the dividend is 10% of the dividend, okay, 10% of, let's say, the 40,000. This gives us, for example, 40,000. They have the potential tax, okay, that the company could have paid to the tax authority is 10%, the tax rate, times the proposed or the assumed dividend. Therefore, the company ought to have paid themselves the 40, ought to have paid a tax, the tax to the KRA, for example, 40,000. But since they didn't pay the dividend, it means they're trying to evade paying this 40,000. Now, in that case, therefore, in case this rule do apply, okay, in this country, then the tax authority can demand the 40,000, even though they did pay the dividend. Okay, therefore, the company will, at the end of the day, okay, pay the 40,000, whether they pay the dividend or they don't pay the dividend. Okay, so in court, okay, the company is being forced, okay, to pay the dividend, because there will be a tax bill. Okay, whether you take the action or you don't take the action, whether you pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend. They will call, therefore, this company is like sort of being forced, okay, or in this country, okay, the companies are in sort of like they are being forced to declare the dividend, because otherwise there'll be a tax bill where they pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend. Okay, that's just called the undue retention law. Okay, so in what country, okay, what's the law in that country? Okay, does it apply? Because in case that do apply, then company may want to declare, even if it's a small dividend, okay, to pay the dividend, okay, so that they try as much as possible, okay, to avoid, okay, paying the dividend, paying high dividend, okay, by not declaring the dividend, okay, so they are forced to pay the dividend, okay, so that there will be a tax bill, okay, to minimize that tax bill, okay. Hope that's clear. If not, you let me know. Okay, that's one of the rule. Okay, another rule is what I call the capital impairment rule. The capital impairment rule. Okay. What that means, therefore, is that as a company, okay, you cannot sort of sell off your assets, okay, so that you can go to pay the dividend. Okay, that is going to be prohibited. Okay, you cannot pay the dividend from by sale of the company, for example, long-term assets. Okay, you cannot sell your motor vehicle of the company so that you can sustain paying the dividend. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, If you don't have a profit, if you don't have the cash, then wait until you're able to make profit. Wait until you do have enough cash to pay the dividends. Otherwise, you can't pay yourself the dividend. Okay, it must be paid from the company's earnings, unless you're closing down the company. Okay, that's your time. Okay, unless the company is closing down, the company cannot dispose of its assets to finance the dividend. Okay, that is against law. Okay, that should not happen. The final rule is called the insolvency rule. Okay, called the insolvency rule. Okay. Now, what that means is that if the company, okay, if the company total assets, okay, if the company total assets are greater, or if the company total assets are less than the company total liability, ensure the company has a negative equity position. Okay, the company has negative equity position. Now, what does that mean? It means in that case you can't pay yourself dividend until you are able to correct that position. Until you are able to correct that position. Okay? If the company has negative equity position, actually the code is negative net asset position. Okay? Negative net asset position. Okay? Then the company cannot pay itself any dividend unless it is able to correct that position. If, for example, you take the case of KQ, okay? The KQ has been in this situation for quite some time, okay? Then it can't pay itself a dividend. You can't pay the dividend, okay? Or actually, let's see the accounts of KQ, okay? Just to illustrate this point on the negative asset position. Okay, so take the accounts of KQ. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so these are accounts of KQ. Okay, I don't have for the year 2019. Okay, what I have is for the year 2017. Okay, so let me go straight to the financial statements. Okay, so let me go straight to the financial statement. Okay, so these are the accounts for KQ. So my main concern is towards the balance sheet of this company. Okay, okay. So these are accounts for the year 2018, that first March 2017. Okay, okay. The company total assets, okay, for that year, okay, is 146 billion. Okay, in this case is 146 billion. Okay, hope you can see it here. Okay, the 146 billion. Okay, the same year, that is year 2017, the company total liabilities, okay, was equal to, okay, you can see this point here. Okay, the company total liability is equal to 191 billion. Okay, the asset is 146 billion, the liability is 191 billion. Okay, as you can see, the company total assets are lower than the company total liability. The company is therefore, in quote, deemed be technical insolvent. Okay, if this therefore is the case, okay, for such a company, you cannot at all, okay, declare and say you're going to pay the dividend. You cannot. Okay, though this company, okay, has what we call a negative equity position. Let's just go to the equity just to see how the case. Okay, it is. Okay, if you take care of this company under the equity, total equity of this company, you can see it is 44 billion. Okay, you can see total equity is negative 44 billion. Okay, to make it worse, is actually increasing because the other sets of the adjusted figures are for 2016. Okay, so it is even becoming worse off. Okay, we have to compare, for example, 2016, 2017. Okay, so if the company has more of liability than assets, okay, in short, it has a negative equity position then by law, the company cannot pay the dividend unless they are able to correct that position. Okay, unless they are able to correct that position of the company. Okay. If anything, okay, just to check on their P&L, okay, don't forget, I don't think they can make any dividend. If you check, okay, this company, the loss for the year, okay, you can see this figure, the loss for the year, okay, it was 10.2 billion, okay, it is 10.2 billion, okay, which implies therefore, there's no profit you're making, okay, from the years, from the operation of the year, from the operations for that particular year, it was total loss that you made, okay? Then if we check, let's check on their retained earnings only, okay? Let's check on the company retained earnings, okay, on the balance sheet of this company. Okay, we can say that what if this company in the past has been able to make profit? Well, let's see, okay? Let's see on the retained earnings, okay? We see whether the company can pay in dividend. If you check on the company, just check here, the company retained earnings, okay? You can see equity and liability. Then we have the company retained earnings, okay? You can see this company, okay, has a negative retained earning of 51 billion. So it means as by default, you can't pay the dividends, okay? Over and above having a negative equity position, okay? Your earnings level are even wanting, okay? Your earnings level are even wanting because already here you have retained earning that is negative 51 billion. As a company, you can't pay the dividend, okay? You can't pay the dividend, okay? Because first, the operation for the year were negative. The profit from the previous year was also negative. Then how can pay the dividend? Okay, that can't happen. Okay, that cannot happen. Okay. Anyway, that's for the case of the KQ. Don't forget that it can't pay dividend. Okay, that's on the insolvency rule. Then you have to call the ownership structure. Okay, the ownership structure. Who are the owners of this business? Okay, who are the owners of the business? Okay, in case you have a multinational, in case you have a large public listed company, okay, you have a diverse array of shareholders, okay, which means therefore in most cases you're going to end up paying them the dividend, okay. They're quite diverse, they're quite many, they have different needs, okay. So in most cases you may end up paying the dividend, okay. Was essentially therefore the policy you're going to be adopting may have an impact on the share price. So you want to align the interest, you want to align the policy you have with what the market is expecting. So you pay the dividend so that the market can, in quote, okay, deem you to be a good company, okay. But in case you're a small family-owned business, okay, you don't care about the public image, in quote, okay, in that manner, okay. You don't care about the public image in relation to the policy of the adoption, in relation to the policy of the dividend you can be adopting, okay? Because you are the only one who is interested towards the company in terms of the ownership of the company, okay? So there's no, in quote, public image, okay, that you're trying to protect us per se, okay? Therefore, in this case, therefore, they may not pay the dividend, okay, because it has no impact on the value of the company, okay? But don't forget, for the case of PLC, the policy you're going to be adopting in relation to the dividend may have an impact on your value, an impact on the value of the company. Okay. Then you have, of course, the shareholders' expectation. Okay. What is the shareholders expecting? Okay. Do they expect the dividend or not? Okay. If, for example, okay, I think I mentioned the case of Safaricom at their first AGM. Okay. Most of the shareholders were individuals. Okay, not corporates. Okay. In terms of numbers, okay, not in terms of the stake of ownership, okay, quite many in terms of individuals, okay. Then in that case, therefore, what happened? And therefore, the company may, in quotes, be forced, okay, by what are my shareholders expecting of me, okay, to pay or not pay the dividend, okay. If the amount was paying the dividend, okay, now what happened therefore? Then you may be forced to pay the dividend, okay. Why? Because the shareholders, okay, are of that opinion, okay. As a company, we want to be paid the dividend. We want the dividend. So the company, in quote, he may be forced to align their policy with what the shareholders are expecting. If the company is made of more of the corporates, okay, not individuals, more of the corporates, then as a company, you may want not to pay the dividend, okay, because most of the time you notice that for corporations, okay, in case most of the shareholders are corporates, okay, they don't want the dividend, in quotes, okay. They don't want the dividend, quote, okay, because you're going to be giving them, for example, okay, an extra work of looking for other investment to put the money in. Okay, so they don't, in quote, prefer to pay the dividend. But in case they're more individuals, then you may have paid the dividend. Okay, as I mentioned, they do consider the dividend as supplementary income. Okay, so in quote, they'll be forced to pay the share dividend. Okay. Another factor is access to capital market. Okay, how easy is it for this company to access the capital market? Okay, or the ease of access of the company towards the capital market? Is it easy? Is it hard? Okay, if it is easy, then don't forget the retained earnings is not the only finance source. Okay, the retained earning is not the only finance source. Therefore, this company they can find it easy to pay the dividend. Okay, why? Because they know. Okay, we not only, okay, we do get other finance sources. Okay, we don't just rely on the profit we make. Okay, there's some other financiers who can finance us. However, if we have a case, okay, where now this company, okay, it's only finance source. This is a small company. Okay, the market is not willing to finance this company, then they may be, in quote, be forced to pay the dividend. Okay, they maybe won't pay the dividend. Okay, why? Because if you don't pay the dividend, okay, because in case you don't pay the dividend, okay, then who is going to be financing you? Okay, you may not be able to access the funds. Okay, because no one is willing to give you money. Okay, there's no one who's going to finance you. Okay, so maybe you're a tourist head, you're a small company. Okay, you're a private company. Okay, so they may, or the market may shy away from giving you money. Okay, in the case of what you do, retain as much as possible. Okay, you retain as much as possible. Okay, that means therefore you pay there's the dividend, if any. Okay, now in case you have the access to the market is easy, the access to the capital market. By capital market means market for funds. Okay, if it is easy, then don't forget retained earning is not your only finance source. You have other finance sources. Okay, you have other finance sources. Okay, hope that is clear. So those are the factors that can influence the policy. Okay, and I mean by policy is more towards how much. Okay, the quantity. Okay, and the factors therefore that do influence the amount of dividend. Okay, or the policy that the company shall be adopting in relation to the policy they want to adopt. Okay, hope that is very clear. Okay, your question, let me know. Okay, on either of those factors that we have discussed. Because your exam is going to ask you to discuss the factor that influence the company, the policy, okay, the company may adopt in relation to the dividend policy. I think you're going to go to the question bank and we shall see some of these questions. Question? Okay, that is very good in case you did assert those factors well. Okay, you should be able to explain them with clarity. You should be able to explain them with ease of clarity. Okay. So as I mentioned, the next thing we should discuss in this topic is now on the theory. Okay, what we call the dividend theory. Okay, the dividend theory. As I mentioned, the theory we shall be discussing in relation to the dividend, okay, is more towards answering the question, why pay the dividend? Okay, why pay the dividend? Okay, does the payment of the dividend, okay, have any impact or any effect, okay, on the value of the company's shares, on the value of the company? Okay, does it influence the company's value? Okay, so the question we try to answer when discussing the theory is, does the payment of the dividend have any impact on the company's value? Okay. The first theory to discuss is called the information. Let me just note here. It's called the information. Okay. Signaling theory. Okay, that's the first theory, the information signaling theory. Now this theory, it just says that at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, when it comes to the payment of the dividend, when it comes to the policy that the company will be adopting, then the policy the company adopts is going to be a set of, okay, it shall be informing, or the company management shall be informing the market, the public at large, something about the company, okay? So whatever policy the company is going to be adopting, okay, in relation to the payment of the dividend, okay, in relation to the policy they shall be adopting, okay, will be a set of information they shall be passing on to those to the users of the accounts of the company, as well as to the public at large, to the market at large, okay. And generally, remember that any bad information, okay, what does it mean? Okay, it will mean that the market, or the company, okay, the market is going to take that as bad information. Okay, that's generally, okay. When it comes to the policy the company shall be adopting, okay, in relation towards the payment of the dividend, okay, they're either going to be having the signal, they're going to be sending either good signals to the market or bad signals to the market, okay. If there will be any proposal that is going to lead to a decrease in the company dividend, okay, if the company management, okay, they are decreasing, okay, whatever reason, okay, but the policy or the proposal is a decrease in the dividend, then this is going to be viewed as bad information to the market, okay. Now, how does the market react to others, okay? Don't forget the market is going to react towards the share price, okay? So the assumption here is that the company is a PLC, okay? The company is public listed company, okay? So if there will be any potential decrease or any information that might mean that the company is attempting to decrease the dividends, okay, they do pay the shareholder, then this is going to have a negative impact on the share price. Don't forget, we said one of the core objectives of the company is shareholders' wealth maximization, okay? So if it's giving a bad signal, now therefore, are you pursuing that objective? No, you are going against that particular objective. As much as possible, okay, whatever policy, if there will be a proposal, okay, where the company is attempting to decrease the payment of dividend, outright that's giving a bad signal to the market. So the managers, as much as possible, they try to avoid that, okay. When it comes to therefore forming the policy, okay, if you're going to be paying the dividend, okay, as a company, know that the amount you're going to pay as dividend, okay, is something that you can sustain even in future, okay. Even when the going is tough, okay, as a company, you can be able to continue paying the dividends, okay. The first thing that you can be able to pay the dividend even in future, okay. If there'll be an increase in the payment of the dividend, okay? If there'll be an increase in the payment of the dividend, what has happened therefore is that the market is going to perceive this as positive information. Now, this is going to be good information. And by default, the share price will also be increased, therefore, okay? Don't forget, any good information that do pass to the market, okay, about the company is going to have a positive impact on the share price of the company, okay? And any increase in the dividend is going to be, the market is going to interpret as if this is good information, okay? There's something good in the market, okay? Why? Because the market knows that if you can declare that if the dividend is increasing, it means the company, you can foresee, okay, that in future you can make high profit, and that's why you're trying to pay more dividend today, okay? This game is viewed as positive information, something good for the market, okay? That implies therefore there'll be an increase in the share price, okay? Therefore, when it comes therefore to the policy you're going to be adopting, okay, consider, can we, for example, be able to sustain this particular dividend in future, okay? What sort of information are we going to pass on to the market, okay? Is good or bad information? Is good or bad information we're going to pass on to the market, okay? Now, in some cases, okay, now this might be misused by the management, okay, misused in quotes, okay. If, for example, there is a potential takeover, okay, there is a potential acquisition, okay, there is a potential unfriendly acquisition, okay, by the company, one of the ways that the management, okay, can dissuade that potential acquisition is by declaring high dividend, okay. For example, there's unfriendly acquisition, unfriendly takeover, okay, that is being done, okay, in the market, okay. One of the ways that the money can try to do to dissuade that potential takeover is by declaring very high dividends, okay, to an extent that once the company does that, of course, we do expect the share price will increase, okay. That means, therefore, if the acquirer, okay, would have to pay, okay, the acquisition through the issue through cash. If the acquirer was to continue maybe getting that particular or obtain the shares they were hoping to obtain, okay, and therefore, seeing the share price has increased, then the potential cash outflow from the acquirer, okay, to the company is going to increase drastically. Why? Because the share price have increased. Because the share price have increased. Therefore, the cash the acquirer will be paying will increase in line with the increase in the share price. That means, therefore, the acquirer may end up not buying the company. Why? Because they are paying huge amount of cash to acquire the company. Okay? So it can be, in quotes, be misused by the company management. Okay. So at the end of the day, okay, therefore at the end of the day, okay, the policy the company shall be adopting, okay, at the end of the day, the policy the company shall be adopting at the end of the day have an impact on the company share price, okay. Therefore, as per the information signaling theory, the policy the company adopts initially the company dividend have an impact on the company's share price, okay. The two have an impact, okay. The two therefore have an impact. The policy of the dividend have an impact therefore on the share price. Okay, and that's on the information signaling theory. Maybe let's make a note here, okay, an NB, okay, let's make a note here, okay. If the company, okay, if the company, okay, assume that the management, okay, they want to propose a decrease in the dividend, okay, in itself, that's a bad signal, okay. The management or the company executive, okay, they should, okay, try to look for a way, okay, how can we decrease, or how can we maybe try to import, quote this information, this bad information as good information, okay. Maybe the proposal to decrease the dividend, okay, was informed by the company potential investment they have, okay. So they want to decrease the dividends, okay, so that they can have the capital, they can have a general needs upon which they can pay, they can go together general need, okay, and invest in to be able to pay for the capital needs of the project. Okay. Now, if that's the case, therefore, if that is the case, therefore, what does it mean? It means for the company, therefore, the management need to inform the market, okay. We are trying to, or we are decreasing the dividend from, let's say, 2.5 shillings per share, 2.2, okay, because the extra, or we have this investment, okay, that we want to make, okay. So the money or the decrease in the dividend is informed by this potential investment that we have as a company. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we are decreasing the dividend, okay. So you need to inform the market, okay, in detail, okay. If this is a bad signal, then try to inform the market that, hey, look, okay, we know that this is a bad signal. However, take note of the investment we are planning to make, okay. So give or pass on more, for example, more extra information to the market, okay. So pass extra information to the market. So the market understand that even though this seems a bad signal, in future it might be actually some good for the company, for the market, for the shareholders of the company. Okay. So consider therefore whether this. So try to, okay, give more detail, okay, to the market, okay. You as the company executive, okay, if there'll be a potential decrease in the dividend. Okay. Question? Okay, if there's no question, then I guess we can take a short break and we shall come back. Okay, so let me check on look. Mosoti.
Yes.
So you can take a break.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Until what time?
7:20.
7:20. Wow. Okay. You mean 7:20?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, welcome back to our class. So we're discussing on theories. Okay. I mentioned the key question these theories are attempting to answer is whether does an optimal capital structure, does the policy the company will be adopting, okay, have an impact on the value or the share price, okay? That's the question we are attempting to answer this time around, okay? So the next theory is called the residual theory, okay? It's referred to as the residual theory, okay? The residual theory, okay? And this theory simply say that when it comes to making a decision as to how much dividend we ought to pay, okay, we ought to consider first of all what are the available investment opportunities that the company has, okay, what are the available investment opportunities the company has, okay. If the company has, or the company will only pay the dividend. If the company will only pay the dividend once they take care of, once the company has taken care of the capital needs of those investments. Okay, the company will only pay the dividend once they have taken care of the capital needs of those investments. Okay, if in a given year, okay, if in a given year the company has zero investment they're making, okay, so the company has no investment that they are making, what does it mean? It means therefore, as a company, therefore, in that year, since you have no investment, all the earnings the company is making, all the earnings the company is making, all the earnings the company is making, therefore, should be paid as dividend. Okay, so the dividend is what is remaining. Okay, the residue, what is remaining. Okay, that is the dividend. Okay, so in those years when the company has huge capital needs, okay, that maybe they even exceed the earnings the company made. Okay, therefore in that year, therefore, okay, the company does not pay any dividend. Okay, let me illustrate. Okay, so it makes it easy to understand. If, for example, we have, let's say, these are 2 years, okay, this is 2018, this is 2019, okay, and assume this is 2020, this is the company earnings, okay, there's a company profit. In that year, they made, for example, 10 million all through, okay, 10 million all through, and 10 million for all those years, okay, and this is the capital needs, okay, capital needs, okay, capital funds required, okay, capital finance required, capital funds are required. If in the year 2018, okay, if in the year 2018 the company did not have any investment, okay, so the funds, there was no any funds requirement, okay, that is zero, then all the earnings company, so this is a dividend. So the dividend. So in this case, if the company did not have any investment making, so there was no capital need, then all the earnings of the company are paid in form of dividends. So in this case, therefore, in the year 2018, all the earnings of the company, therefore, has been paid as dividends. If in the year 2019, the company had potential investment, okay, the company had potential investment, okay, no, these are positive, these are value-adding projects, okay, positive NPV projects, okay. And if all those projects, okay, I see that there were, let's say, the 2 projects, there were A, B, okay, A costing 8 million, B costing 12 million, sorry, costing 4 million, you are total costing 4 million. It means the 2 combined, the total capital required for the 2 combined is 12 million. Therefore, in that year, therefore, before the company pay any dividend, the company need to finance the 12 million, okay? The company need to look for finance to finance the 12 million, okay? Which means, therefore, the capital needs of the company in the year 2019 is 12 million for the 2 projects. Which means, therefore, the entire 10 million the company has just made is going to first invest the 10 million in the project, okay? And the company in that year can go externally and look for the 2 million. But in the meantime, all the 10 million is going to finance the 12 million capital needs of the company. Therefore, in that year, therefore, okay, the company pays zero dividend. Okay? In this case, therefore, there's zero amount of dividend to be paid. Why? Because the entire profit the company made in that year, therefore, paid out in the form of the dividend. They paid out in the form of the dividend. Therefore, in that year, therefore, the company has zero amount to pay as dividend. If in the year 2012, okay, in the 2020, in the year 2020, okay, this year 2020, the company has daily project ABC is costing 3 million, 3 million, and 3 million, for example. Okay, therefore the capital needs for the company in the year 2020 is $9 million. Okay, $9 million. Therefore, the company will go and take the $9 million from the earnings they made in the year 2020. Okay, therefore, in this year, therefore, the company take 9 million. Okay, however, there's a balance. Okay, because the company made 10 million, so they take 9 million from 10 million. It remains 1 million. Therefore, the balance, the residual, is paid to the shareholder in for the dividends. Okay, so therefore, in the year 2020, the amount of dividend paid, therefore, is going to be 1 million. As you can see, the dividend is a residual, what is remaining after the company takes care of the capital needs. After it takes care of its capital needs. Okay, therefore, in this context, therefore, this is the dividend. Okay, what is remaining, the residual, what is remaining. Okay, referred to as the residual theory. The residual theory. As per see this theory, okay, it makes we can't ask a question, okay, as to whether the policy the company is adopting, okay, have an impact on the value of the shares, okay, on the share price, okay. There's a bit of a gray area, okay, when you attempt to answer that question, okay, as per the theory, okay. Because if you do pay the dividend, okay, does it influence the share price, okay? If you don't pay the dividend, does it influence the share price, okay? So it's a bit of a gray area, okay, when answering that question, whether the policy the company should be adopting will influence its dividend, okay? Will influence its share price, okay? And that's on the residual theory, okay? The dividend is paid on what is remaining. The dividend is paid on what is remaining after taking care of the company capital needs. After taking care of the company capital needs. Don't forget, the investment you're making must be value-adding projects, okay? They must be value-adding projects, okay? The next theory is referred to as the traditional theory, okay? The so-called the dividend traditional theory. Now, this theory says that at the end of the day, okay, when it comes to making a decision, as to the policy we ought or the company ought to adopt, they must consider the implication the policy will be having on a number of factors. Okay, they will have to consider what is the implication of us adopting this particular policy. Okay, if, for example, the company, okay, so let me just go back to what is here. Okay, if, for example, the company adopts no dividend policy, as an example, okay, and here assume they adopt a high dividend policy, the company to observe, okay, what impact will this policy or no dividend have on the cost of equity? Okay, observe what's the impact, okay, what's the impact if you adopt a high dividend policy. Observe what the potential, the future growth in those dividends, okay. If we pay high dividend today, in case we pay no dividend today, okay, what is the potential impact it will have on the future growth in the dividend, okay? You observe that. What impact is it going to have on the share price, okay? So the number of factors that we need to consider, okay? The number of factors that we need to consider, okay? Also consider what impact is that policy going to have on the share price also, okay? So we don't just look at one angle, okay? As for this theory, we need to look at all these, okay? It's more of a multi-dimensional impact has, okay? This policy that we want to adopt, what impact is it going to have on the cost of equity? If, for example, the company adopts no dividend policy, don't forget this is going to mean that it's going to be therefore that as shareholder, the return that you are anticipating to receive, okay, there's no guarantee, okay, because there's no dividend to be paid. Therefore, the cost of equity in that case, therefore, is going to increase, of course. okay, is going to increase. Therefore, the other factor, okay, the other factor is going to have is on the growth in the dividend. Okay, this is that why is the company not paying the dividend? Okay, why is the company not paying the dividend? The company is not paying the dividend, okay, because they do anticipate, for example, that in the future they will be available, there'll be there'll be potential investment upon which they can invest the money. Okay, therefore the growth in future, the company has a chance of making high profit. Why? Because the company has been able to invest that money in value-adding projects. Okay, therefore the growth in future is the growth in the dividend in future is going to be high. Okay, something good. Okay, this is negative information, negative impact. There's positive impact. Now, what does it have on the share price? Okay, what does it have on the share price? A number of factors going to influence, okay, on the share price. Okay, so first of all, okay, these shareholders, okay, what do they want? Okay, if they are shareholders who want the dividend, then this is a bad signal. Okay, this is going to be a negative information. If the shareholders of this company, they are corporates, okay, they are pension funds, okay, they don't want the dividend. Therefore, in case you don't pay the dividend, then that's good information to them, okay. Therefore, this is going therefore positive information, okay. So this is going to be a mix of the two. It can be positive, can be negative, okay. Therefore, as a manager, you have to consider, therefore, okay, you have to consider, therefore, what is going to be the impact of the policy you're going to be adopting on the cost of equity, on the growth, on the potential future growth in the dividend, as well as on the share price. Okay, so as you make the decision, consider the impact they'll be having, therefore, on the company, on those factors, the cost of equity, the potential future growth in the dividend, as well as on the share price. Okay, therefore, consider any policy you're going to observe is good. Try to see not just from the share price perspective, but also consider from other perspective. Okay, that's on the traditional theory. Okay, consider the impact of the policy we have, for example, on the share price, on the growth of those dividends, and the cost of equity. Try to observe. Okay, try to see this from a holistic perspective. Okay, trying to see what impact is it going to having on the share price, the growth in the dividend, as well as on the cost of equity, the required rate of return, the cost of equity. Okay. So that's on the traditional theory. That's on traditional theory. Clear? Okay. The next theory is called Miller-Modigliani. Okay, it's called Miller-Modigliani. Dividend relevance theory. Okay, it's called Miller-Modigliani dividend irrelevancy theory. Now, these two gentlemen, okay, they say that at the end of the day, okay, as a company, okay, when it comes to making a decision as to whether pay or not pay the dividend, okay, when it comes to the decision as to pay or not pay the dividend, we say that the ultimate test is, does the policy you're going to be adopting have an impact on the share price? Okay, and we say that if either of those decisions, okay, whether pay or not pay the dividend, okay, have no impact on the share price, then why take it up in the first place? And therefore, that decision, as a manager, concentrate on other things. Let me repeat. You're trying to observe. We say that the ultimate decision ought to be geared towards maximizing the wealth of the shareholder. Ought to be geared towards maximizing the wealth of the shareholder. Which means, therefore, if the policy you're going to be adopting, has no impact on the share price, then why would you want to adopt that particular policy? It makes no sense for a company for you to adopt that policy. Now, towards this theory, no, they say that there are two decisions. So either to pay the dividend or not pay the dividend. Okay. Now, Modigliani said that the company management should only engage themselves. Okay. Should only engage themselves, okay, for those decisions, for those activities, okay, that are going to result to an increase in the wealth of shareholders. if the action taken, if the decision they're making, okay, is not going to increase the wealth of shareholder, then don't take it up in the first place. Okay, that is more or less what the saying to tell us. Okay, now the entity says that at the end of the day, okay, if we were to assume perfect market condition, okay, if we were to assume perfect market condition, okay, and one of the elements of perfectionism is that there is no tax, okay, so if we were to assume, let me just use my board here, okay, if we were to assume perfect market condition, okay, perfect market conditions, okay, then we again one of the assumptions we get to make is that the investors are rational. Okay, so of course they are going to be wealth driven. Okay, they can be wealth driven. Okay, there's no transaction cost. Because the element is there's no taxation. Okay, so there's no taxation. Okay, there's no taxation. There's no taxation. Of course, on capital gain as well as the dividend. Okay, so if we are to assume that we are operating profit market condition, okay, then as managers, okay, we make an assumption that hey, if the shareholders, okay, or rather, what is going to ultimately increase the company's value, what is going to ultimately increase the company's value is not the decision as to whether pay or not pay the dividend, but is by the managers investing in value-adding projects, okay? By the shareholders, by the manager investing in value-adding projects. Well, that is by that we mean positive NPV projects, okay? Positive NPV projects, okay? That's the only way the shareholders of the company, that's only the way the managers can be able to increase their shareholder. Now, shareholders, if a shareholder was to invest in a company that don't pay the dividend, if a shareholder was to invest in a company that don't pay the dividend, what does it mean? Okay, it means you are a shareholder, okay, since you are in perfect market condition, it is possible for you to be able to, well, if a shareholder, this company don't pay you the dividend, okay, and therefore, why is the company not paying the dividend? The company is not paying the dividend so that they can have the money and invest in value-adding projects, okay? So in case of scenario where there is no payment of dividend, that means for the company is investing that money in value-adding projects, okay? If just for example, okay, your case here, the current share price, let's see this is equal to, for example, $50, okay? Now, if, okay, this was before the investment, okay? This is before, this after. The company don't pay the dividend, okay? However, the company is going to be investing your money, okay, in value-adding projects, okay? Therefore, the share price increased from $50 to, for example, 52, okay? While the share price increased from 50 to 52. Why? Because the company has invested money in positive NPV projects, okay? That's why the share price is increasing, okay? That's why the share price is increasing, okay? Now, if that happened, therefore, and therefore you as shareholder who wanted the money, who wanted the dividend, okay, it means you don't get the dividend, okay? That's the case, therefore. If you had preferred to get, for example, okay, a dividend or per share of, let's say, $2, what you can do, you can create your own dividend, okay? You can create your own dividend. How do you do that, okay? By disposing of a portion of investing in the company equivalent to the dividend you have received from the company. What you can do here is that you can dispose of, okay? Don't forget your current investment, okay, is 52. Well, the share price increased from 50 to 52. Therefore, in case you prefer to be paying the dividend, okay, what do? Dispose of $2 out of 52, okay? Therefore, your current company, so there's a company investment you have, currently is 52, sale of 2. Therefore, this is the DPS. This is the dividend per share. It means, therefore, your investment in the company decreased from 52 to 50. But don't forget, you received this dividend plus your current investment. Therefore, the two combined, okay, takes you back to where you are at 52. If there is a company that don't pay the dividend, okay, this is non-payer. Okay, let me just call this non-payer. Okay, company not pay the dividend. Okay, that is for the company not pay the dividend. If you take a company that is a payer, okay, they pay the dividend. The share price of the company, or don't forget, it was at 50. Don't forget, since they didn't make the investment, the share price remained at 50. But the management goes ahead and make the dividend. They pay the share of the dividend. Okay, the share price, assuming the dividend is equal to $2. Okay, and implied therefore the share price was sticky at 50. However, the shareholder got the dividend equal to $2. Therefore, at the end of the day, the shareholder's wealth therefore is going to equal to 52. Both 50 is the share price and the $2 of dividends they have received from the company. So either option, the total value to the shareholder, okay, is 52 in the case of payer. At the same time, it is 52 in the case of the non-payer. So whether you pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend, at the end of it, the day, the total wealth to the shareholder remains constant. It remains constant. The assumption we're making is that the shareholder, okay, once they get the $2, they're going to be investing at an equal rate from what the company could have received if the company itself was to invest that money. That's the assumption we are to making. Okay, the return the shareholders can make on their own individual investment is equivalent to the return the company can make on investing that money. Okay, therefore the total wealth of shareholder remain constant whether they pay the dividend or don't pay the dividend. For those shareholders who invest their money in a non-payer, in a non-dividend paying company, and they want the dividend, then they can make their own dividend, okay, by disposing of shares equivalent to the amount of dividend they are preferred. Now, this dividend they are making, this $2 here they're making, okay, we refer to it as the homemade dividend. Referred to as the homemade dividend, okay, we call it the homemade dividend. The shareholder on their own individual capacity, okay, can be able to manufacture their own dividend, okay, by disposing of a portion of their investment equivalent to the amount of dividend they would have preferred. Okay, so these $2, therefore, the shareholder are able to make by disposing of, okay, their investment, their share in the company, referred to as the homemade dividend. Actually, an assumption that we make, okay, and an assumption that we have in this particular theory, okay, is what referred to as it is possible to have what called fractional ownership. Fractional ownership. What do you mean by that? Okay, look, this was one share, okay, at 50. The share price increased to 52 here, okay. Here they have disposed only 2 out of the 52. Don't get conventionally. Don't forget, you can't dispose a fraction of a share. That's not very possible. But assuming that it is possible, in this case, assuming that it is possible to dispose a fraction of the share. Okay, it is possible to own a fraction of a share. Okay, okay, there's an assumption that they're making here. Okay, that it is possible in case you want $2, you dispose $2 out of the 52. Okay, you have in the company. Therefore, the conclusion is simply that whether you pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend, okay, the company's value remains the same. The total return to the shareholder remains the same. It does not matter, okay. If anything, what is going to increase the company's value is by the investment the company is making. The investment company is making. How value adding are they? How much return is the company able to make once they invest the money? Okay, that's on the dividend irrelevancy theory. Okay, so this here is a concern. Okay, company invest in positive NPV projects. Okay. Okay, I hope the theory is quite clear. Okay. So it's not argued that for any corporate decisions to have value, firm must do something that shareholders cannot do on themselves. Okay, and so therefore the company, okay, try to avoid what the shareholders can do to themselves. Okay, the shareholder can go to manufacture their own dividend. Then don't do that, okay? If shareholders can do that on their own, why would you want you as management, okay, you as executive, to interfere in court, okay, with them? Let them continue, okay, manufacturing the dividend. Let them continue having their own homemade dividends, okay, by selling a part of their shareholding in the company, equivalent to the dividend they would have preferred. But at the end of the day, it will have no impact on their total wealth. Okay. So accordingly, therefore, the shareholders will be indifferent between the dividend, okay, and of course the capital gains. So there's a point of indifference between those two. So it does not matter, okay, whether they pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend. At the end of the day, the shareholders are indifferent. Okay. I hope that's really clear. Okay, I hope that's quite clear to all of you. Okay. The assumption I think I've mentioned, so I'll not repeat. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next theory. So the next theory, okay, I can summarize it as the reaction to the theory, okay. Let me summarize them as other theories, okay. So let me just project them and see if they are independent theories, okay. Okay, so the first criticism, okay, was like a theory on itself, okay, and this is called the tax differential theory. Okay, we'll call the tax differential theory. Okay, so let me explain what we mean by tax differential theory. Now, this theory says that, don't forget, if you have to just go step back to the theory, and you see that at the end of the day, okay, one of the key assumptions they made is that there's no tax either for corporates or for individuals. Okay, however, in reality, there is tax. Okay, in reality, there is going to be tax. Okay, and in most cases, the tax on the capital gain. Okay, in most cases, the tax on the capital gain, and the dividend will be different. Okay, the two will be different. For example, the tax on capital gain can be 10%, and the tax on the dividend can be 5%. If you assume that all the other factors remain constant, okay, and the only difference is that the tax is different for the capital gain, okay, and the dividend. Don't forget, for the capital gain, what it means is that the company is not paying the dividend, so the company is opting to invest the money, and out of the investment, okay, there'll be an increase in the share price, okay. And for the dividend, the company is paying the dividend, okay, and the shareholder pay the tax on that dividend the company is paying to them, okay. In the capital gain, okay, the shareholder pay a higher dividend. Since the shareholder are assumed to be rational, by default, they'll take the option where they minimize the total tax they do pay. In this context, if a company is retaining the money, if the company does not pay the dividend, now what does it mean? It means, therefore, the company is reinvesting the money, and out of that investment, the shareholders make the capital gain. But since the tax is going to be higher on those capital gains, and it means, therefore, the wealthy shareholder is reducing by the higher tax brackets. If a company, the same scenario, do pay the dividend, they don't reinvest the money, and mean, therefore, the reduction of the tax the shareholders are paying is 5%. It's lower, which implies, therefore, since there is lower or this reduction in the wealth or the reduction in the amount of tax the shareholders are paying, it implies, therefore, there's giving more money the shareholders are retaining. There's more retention of the money because the tax rate is a bit low. Now, in this case, therefore, for company that pay dividend, the wealth of the shareholder is higher. Why? Because there's lower tax payment. For the company that do not pay the dividend, they invest the money, they're going to have a lower value to the shareholder. Their company's value, the share price, is going to be lower because they result in shareholders paying higher taxes. That's in this scenario, okay? Let me just call it scenario 1. In scenario 2, okay, And so that the tax is given, let's say, the reverse, okay? There's 5%, there's 10%. It means in a two, the reverse is occurring, okay? Now that the company that pay the dividend, the shareholder end up paying more tax, okay? And that, of course, is going to be reduction, to result to a reduction in the share price, in the wealth of the shareholder. Therefore, those companies that do not pay the dividend, they're going to have a higher share price than those companies that pay the dividend. The company policy regarding whether to pay the dividend or not pay the dividend have an impact on the value of the share, depending on the difference between the tax treatment on the capital gain and the dividends. The policy the company is adopting has an impact on the share price, and that's on the tax differential theory. Hope that's really clear. Tax differential theory. What is tax rate between the capital gain and the dividend? And does company align itself with the lower tax brackets? Okay. The next theory is called the bird in hand theory. Okay, the bird in hand theory. Now, as per the MM, okay, we see that the shares are indifferent between capital gains or the dividend. Okay, by that means what that means is that the shareholders, whether you pay the dividend or you retain the money, okay, they're indifferent. Okay, because the shareholder can be able to manufacture their own dividend. Okay? If anything, they have no impact on the value of the company. However, what's the reality? Under the capital gain alternative, what does it mean? It means that the shareholders are being promised by the management, okay, we are not going to pay you money today. We are going to reinvest the money in this project, okay? We want to invest your money in, we want to expand into this market. Don't forget the chance that the value shall be actualized, okay? The chance that the value will be actualized, okay, is dependent on uncertain future events, okay, occurrence of the project, okay? The chance the company shall be actually able to convert those investments into value, okay? This is in quotes a promise, okay? We are simply making a promise, okay, to the shareholder that once we invest your money, you're going to make capital gains. If anything, the market is going to react positively, okay? The market is going to be reacting positively to the project you invest your money in. That's a promise itself, okay? That's a promise, okay? The promise is that the company is making the shareholder in itself is uncertain. It will be occurring in the future. On the other hand, the dividend to be paid is paid in quotes today. Now, for shareholder, what do they want? They want what is certain to what is uncertain. Now, what is certain? It is what we are going to be seeing today, the dividend. What is uncertain? The promise the company shall actually actualize the value of those projects. The promise that the market shall be will value positively the positive NPV the company has made in. Don't forget it's a promise, okay? Don't forget that it might make good investment, but the market might never react towards this, okay? You can have a very good company, but that company is undervalued, okay? I think that's the reality of the market, okay? So the shareholder are more uncertain, okay, to that, okay? Therefore, give us what is certain. What is certain? Give us the dividend today. Give us the dividend today. Okay, let's not wait until when the market is going to react positively. Okay, that might never even happen. Okay, therefore, shareholder prefer what is certain to uncertain. What is certain? The dividend. What is uncertain is the increase in share price, the capital gains. Therefore, those company that pay the dividend, it implies therefore they do have higher value. They have higher value. Why? Because they are in line with what the shareholders are expecting them to do. Those companies that do not pay the dividend, instead of they retain the money, okay, to make investment, they go against what were the shareholders' expectations. And therefore, they have higher, lower value. Okay, the market do not appreciate them. Okay, why? Because they go against what was the shareholders' expectations. Okay. That's on the bird in hand theory, okay? The bird in hand theory, okay? Shareholders want or prefer or certain to what is uncertain. What is certain is the dividend. What is uncertain is a promise that share price will increase once the company makes this investment, which may never actualize in reality. Okay? I hope that's very clear to all of you. Then we have another theory. So just remember, there's another theory. Okay, it's called the clientele effect theory. Okay, clientele effect theory. The clientele effect theory. Now, in this theory, what we call the clientele effect theory, it says that at the end of the day, shareholders of the company at the beginning, okay, before the market achieves equilibrium, okay, before the market achieves equilibrium, you're going to be having shareholders, okay, some who want to get paid the dividend, others don't want the dividend, okay. So in case you have a company, okay, in case you have a company and you are a non-payer, assume you are a non-payer, company B is a payer, they do pay the dividends. In case in company A, we have shareholder who want the dividend. Company we have shareholder who want the dividend. It means the company. It means that for the company A is going against their wish, their expectation. What do? They are going to dispose of the company share, the shares of company A. What do? They go to company B. Okay, they're going to go to company B because company B pay the dividend. Company A don't pay the dividend. Those shareholders, therefore, will go to company B. Okay, they're going to invest their money in company B because company B is in line with what was their expectation. Now, for company B, what happens therefore? If you have shareholder in company B, okay, if you have shareholder in company B who don't want the dividend, and the company B goes ahead and adopts paying of the dividend, it means B, the shareholder income, those shareholders who don't want the dividend will dispose of their shares in company B and invest in company A. Why? Because it is in line with what was their expectation. Once this happened, okay, over a long period of time, then at the end of the day, the shareholders in company A are those who don't want the dividend. The shareholders in company B are those who want the dividend. Okay. Once the market achieves equilibrium, that is therefore the transfer in quote of shareholders between A and B. Once that's achieved, okay, that A is only for those shareholders who don't want the dividend, and B is only of shareholders who want the dividend. A does not matter. Therefore, okay, if company A going forward, okay, whether company A continue not paying the dividend, it has no impact on its shares on its share price. Why? Because in A, it's only half shareholder who don't want the dividend. The company A continued, therefore, if A continued not paying the dividend, then there's no impact on its share price. In company B, if they increase the dividend, it has no impact. It has no impact on its share price. Why? Because the only shareholder who are there in company B are those who want the dividends. Okay. Once the market achieves equilibrium, whether you pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividend, it does not matter because the market is already in equilibrium. Don't forget, one of the reasons why, if we assume the market is not in equilibrium, if B pays more dividend, okay, if B pays more dividend, its share price might increase. Because we have other shareholders in the market who demand more of B, which drives therefore the demand high, which drives the share price high. But if we are in equilibrium, don't forget B has been to attract all those shareholders who want the dividend. So the market is in equilibrium. The demand is already in equilibrium. So it does not matter. Okay. Okay, it's just like the economics. Okay, once the market is in equilibrium, okay, the price will be established. Okay, so the supply and the demand, okay, it does not matter at the end of the day. Okay, once we achieve equilibrium, okay, it does not matter. Okay, whether the company pays the dividend or the company don't pay the dividend. Okay, as I mentioned, the reason why maybe the share price in the B can increase is in case the demand for its shares is increasing. But for the market is equilibrium, B has all the shareholders that they want. A has all the shareholders that they want. Okay. Therefore, the price remains constant. Whether you pay the dividend or you don't pay the dividends. Okay, that's on the clientele effect theory. By client, in quote here, we are referring to the shareholders. Okay, by the shareholders. Okay, and those are the dividend theories. Okay, those are the dividend theories. Okay. The next question we want to answer is, how do you pay the dividend? How do you pay the dividend? Okay, you pay the dividend. Okay, you pay the dividend using three ways. Okay, one of them is cash. Okay, simply cash dividend. Okay, then you have the script issue, and lastly you have the share repurchase. Okay, you have the cash dividend, bonus issue, and you have the script. We have what we call the share repurchase. Cash dividend, quite simple. Actual transfer of money from the company to the shareholder. Okay, actual transfer of cash from the company to the shareholder. Okay, as I mentioned, in this case, therefore, the company must have that cash. Okay, you cannot borrow money to finance the period dividend. Okay, that can happen. You must have that cash. Okay, so actual transfer of cash from the company to the shareholder, cash dividend. Okay, then you have to call the scrip dividend. Okay, now this is going to come if, for example, the company does not have cash, or the company want to reserve that cash. Okay, what we can do is, why don't we just give the shareholder of this company shares for free? Okay, free in quotes. Okay, where the shareholder are going to be receiving extra shares. Okay, equivalent to their dividend they could have received. Okay, equivalent to the dividend they could have received as a payment for the dividend. Okay, so the company doesn't have to have a distribution of their shares, okay, of the cash to the shareholder. Instead, they are offering them shares for free. Okay, shares for free, equivalent to the amount of dividend they could have received in proportion to their stake of ownership in the company. Okay. Okay, here in this case, therefore, the company cash is not affected. Okay, because we are not giving cash, we give them bonus shares equal to a script dividend. Now, in a share repurchase, okay, that form of paying the dividend is called a share repurchase. It's called a share repurchase. Now, in a share repurchase, okay, what happens is that the company wants to buy its own shares. Okay, the company wants to buy its own shares. So, in the company, as in the case of Safaricom, okay, the Safaricom, in case, for example, currently one share is going for. Let me just share my board here. Okay, let's see the case of shares of Safaricom. Okay, in the market currently, okay, the shares, not dollars. Okay, let's see the share price is, let's say, 28. Okay, Safaricom can submit a bid to its own shareholder. Okay, before the shareholder, we can buy your shares. Okay, and let's say, for example, at 29. Okay. Now, those shareholders who want to sell their shares to the Safaricom, so the company submits a bid to buy its own share. Okay, so get that clear. Okay, the company is buying its own shares in the market. Okay, now Safaricom is willing to tell the shareholder, okay, you're going to buy your shares, okay, not at 28, okay, what the market is offering you. You're going to buy them at 29. Okay, now those shareholders, okay, who don't want to sell at 29, okay, are going to be accept the offer that Safaricom is offering them, okay, to buy the shares at 29. Now, what is happening is that if you are a shareholder, you have to go to the market and sell off your shares, it means that you'll be receiving 28, not 29, but 28. However, if you sell your shares to your company, you'll be selling them at 29. It means you're getting something extra. Okay, you're getting an extra one share. Okay, you're getting an extra one share for each of the share. Okay, because you're going to be getting 29 minus 28. So therefore, you receive an extra one sharing for your shares, an extra one sharing for your shares. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Therefore, it implies therefore that the extra one sharing can be considered as what we call a liquidating dividend, what referred to as the liquidating. Sorry. This can be referred to as the liquidating dividend. or called the final dividend. Okay, the external sharing, in this case, therefore, is considered as a dividend. Okay, is a final dividend to the shareholders who opt to sell off their shares to the company, who opt to sell their shares to the company. Okay, therefore, this is a form of dividend. The 1 shilling, okay, the extra 1 shilling this will be receiving from the disposal of their shares to its own company or to their own company. That is the last form of paying the dividend. So the first one is cash. You have the script issue, and you have lastly the share repurchase. The share repurchase. Okay. I think you remember the case of CMC. Okay. Don't forget CMC was listed. Okay. Don't forget CMC was listed. Okay. However, now it's delisted. Okay. It was delisted. Okay. And propose that you try to go do a simple Google search. Okay. To consider how the disposal, okay, of okay, were to be privatized. Okay, simply as a privatization. Okay, is a form of the share repurchase. Okay. Okay, so just could go a simple Google search on the CMC share repurchase scheme. Okay, or CMC privatization. Okay, you understand the case of the share repurchase as a final dividend. Question. Any question? Louisa has a question. So let me. Louisa?
Yes, I have a question with regard to the clientele effect theory. We placed it under the reactions to the irrelevance theory. So what is its position? Is it in contrast or is it in support of the irrelevance theory?
Actually, it's sort of like going against the what can I say? Going against the irrelevance theory. Okay, it's going against it. Okay, can I say it's going against? Okay, it came after. Okay, it's like criticism. Can I say like sort of a criticism? Okay, but what is the best term to use here? It is going against some of the assumptions. Let me put that way. Some of the assumptions that are held by the irrelevance theory. Okay, so it's like it's not critiquing as per se. Okay, critiquing. It's not going against the key proposition. Okay, of the theory. Was both of them say that there's no impact, okay, the policy has towards the share price, okay. So both of them have the same sort of like proposition, okay. However, it goes against some of the assumptions, okay, of the theory, okay. But at the end of the total the assumption, okay, of theory, no, the key proposition of theory are the same. Okay, I don't know that that's clear, okay, Luisa. So at the end, the key proposition is the same. That the payment on payment has no impact on the share price. Okay. However, the assumptions they're putting across is different. Okay. Anyways, I hope that's clear. Okay. As per se, is not a criticism, okay, of the theory. Okay. As per se, is not a criticism of the theory. Let me just check whether that's clear. Oh, that's clear. If not, let me know. Okay. So as per se, this is not a criticism as per se. Okay, but it goes against some of the assumptions that the AMM did put across. Okay. Any other question? Now we are a bit behind when it comes to the coverage of syllabus. Okay. Because we have lost our number of classes now. Okay, I think the last two Mondays we have lost. Okay, this week and last week we have lost those classes. Okay, so there was a proposal. Okay, to have the class on Saturday. Okay, from 2:30. Okay, to 5:30. Okay, that was a proposition. Okay, we had that we can have a makeup class. Okay,